When it comes to eye makeup, I have a few favorites and I want to go over some of them with you. So in this video, I'm going to show you my favorite way of doing my brows, my favorite way of doing my eyeshadow, and my favorite mascara. So let's get started. All right, let's go to eyebrows first. I use a powder, and the reason why is because I do not like pencil anymore. I don't think it works for me. I think it creates too harsh of a line and it's too easy to try to blend it in, so I go straight to the powders. Now I usually try to get a powder that's gonna match my hair color so it can look the most natural as possible, and then I get a straight angle brush, like just like this, a stiff angle brush. You want it to be stiff because you wanna be able to blend it right into your hairs on your brows. So let's get started with the first one. I just dipped it a little bit into the powder, and then let's see if you can see. You see how I'm doing little wispy strokes on my brows, just like that? And then I come around and I follow the natural curve of my eyebrows. That's the whole point. You want it to be as natural as possible. So you want to do these wispy type of strokes. And then with your brush, that's why I like the stiff angle brush, I kind of comb my brows as I'm applying the color. And then I end it right at the 45-degree angle to my eye, just like that. I end it right there. And then again, if I see any areas that I need to fill in more, then I do it like that, just like that. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other side so you can see again how I do the wispy strokes, and then follow the natural curve around until you get to the end, and then fill in any more, but I'm doing it very light touch, just like that. If you want to, you can go right over it with like a gel that seals in the brow powder. So that is definitely a perfect option for that. So that's how I do my brows. Next up, we're gonna get right to eyeshadow. Okay, for my eyeshadow, my favorite products are the eyeshadow cream sticks. These are all the rage, and I love them, especially for us women that are over 50. We have creased eyelids, we have wrinkles, fine lines and wrinkles. The cream is a perfect thing for that. What I usually do is get a couple of colors that complement each other. I'm very much into earth tones, but every once in a while I'll get something like a mauve color or like a plum color, especially if I'm going out. But for every day, I use more of an earth tone. I usually take a brush because I don't want to put my cream eyeshadow the stick right to my eye. I think that you lose control of the amount of color you put on, and sometimes you can put on too much color. So I take my brush just like this, and I'm gonna go ahead with the darker color first, which is this color right here. I apply a little bit to my brush, just like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna go right to my crease, and then I'm just gonna start applying the color to my crease. And then I usually go way over the crease because I have hooded eyes, and I want the color to be seen, not hidden when my eyes, are not wide open and they drop. So you see, I'm trying to create a color right above that. Okay, so I'm just kind of building the color just like this. You see how I'm doing that? This is a very earthy color. It's like almost like a very light brown color, but it looks really nice. Look at how pretty that looks. Okay, I'm gonna do really quickly the other eye. Again, we're going way over the crease because we have hooded eyes, and if we stay right into the crease, you're just not gonna be able to see the color. So it might feel uncomfortably high because it's a little bit different than probably what you learned when you were growing up and we were younger and we didn't have hooded eyes, but now we have hooded eyes. And so we need to make sure that the color is visible. Okay, so that's a little bit of a darker color. See how nice, and it's so creamy. I'm like literally obsessed with these sticks. So creamy. Now I'm gonna take my next color, which is the lighter color, and I'm just taking the color and I'm gonna go right to my lower lid. And as I'm doing this, you notice how I'm just kind of dropping the color right in. I'm not sweeping. I don't have long sweeping strokes. I'm just kind of depositing the color just like this. I think that creates the best look. It also will fill in any fine lines and wrinkles. And also while I'm doing it, I'm blending. So look at how pretty that is. I mean, that is just a really pretty look. Again, it's just very nice and simple. It's perfect for me because I'm a very simple kind of person. I don't wear a lot of heavy colors. I like this kind of natural look. I think that really brings out the colors of your eyes. I think that's really nice enhancement. But again, I'm just sort of blending in. Look how beautiful that is. I love that. I'm obsessed with these eyeshadow sticks. Everything I'm showing you here, of course, is going to be dropped below in the description. All the links for everything, so you can always go there to see where I got the products. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is mascara. All right, mascara. Such a wonderful product. I've been using it for the most of any makeup that I've ever used. When I was a kid, it was the only thing my mother let me wear when I was like 15. I begged her to let me wear eyeshadow. She wouldn't. I said, well, what about mascara? It was the one thing she let me go to the drugstore and buy. And this is my go-to, is this L'Oreal. It is, I can never remember, Panorama. It's in the gold tube. I love it because it does not clump up. You don't need to brush your lashes out afterwards. It's not frustrating. I always use an eyelash curler. So I'm gonna curl my lashes just a little bit, and then I'm gonna show you how wonderful this mascara is. Now, if you really want to go all crazy with your eyelashes, you can always put a primer on beforehand. You'd have to buy that separately. In fact, I'm going to do a video on just eyelashes. So one day, and I'll probably link it here so you can see how. Just subscribe to my channel and then you'll probably get it soon, because it's on my list of videos to make, is how to make wild eyelashes without having to put on false eyelashes or get extensions. So I curled. I didn't do primer today. I'm just doing the L'Oreal mascara. And look how beautiful this goes on. Not any clumps. And I like the brush because as I'm putting it on, it's brushing it out for me. And look at how nice that looks. Look at how beautiful. And I'm just gonna do a little bit on the bottoms. I love this mascara. It is just a wonderful go-to, and you can, like I said, it's very affordable. You can get it at any store, and it's beautiful. I buy it in, I think, brown black. You can buy it in any color brown if you're a little more fair skin, if you have lighter hair, or if you have darker hair, you'd use the black or brown black. It's really your total preference, but I love this mascara, my go-to. So those are my go-to items for beautiful eye products. Really very simple. You've got the eyeshadow sticks, which I'm obsessed with. I love the creaminess. I love the mascara, that L'Oreal Panorama mascara. You do not need a mascara brush to brush out any clumps because it's not clumpy. And the other thing was the eyebrow powder. Any powder that you can find at any store. You can also get those. e.l.f. has a really nice brow powder. I'll put the links below so you can check those out and get yourself a nice stiff angle brush, because you want those to make yourself look most natural. Those are way better than a pencil. And so those are my tips for my best, most favorite eye products. I hope you like them. Comment below if you have any favorites of yours. Let me know what they are, and we can chit chat. So I'll see you on the next video.